Voices.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 42 of the Mid-Geek Crisis. My name is Joe, the Afroman, and my partner in crime...
Pedro, Cautious Online.
He forgot his own name, folks.
I'm coming off a long week of vacation, so my brain's not quite there.
Yeah, so you took a week of vacation off. I guess it was that in between summer to return to school kind of thing?
Yeah, over the Labor Day weekend, a little bit of time to do stuff around the house before the summer ended, a little bit of time to hang out with my daughter who doesn't have... So summer camp ended, but school hasn't started, so there's like a gap there. And stuff like that. So just enjoyed the time off together and played games and lots of video games and cleaned up the house.
What'd you play? What's something that you...
we're still playing Batman 3. She enjoys watching me play Celeste again, so that's back on the menu, which is fun. What else did we put on there? We had some friends over and we played Jordan came over and we played Runbow, which is like just a competitive racing game. We can run through and the lights. It's similar to that game we played that was for the Switch with you had to match the colors, like platforms would disappear depending on the colors you were going for.
Okay. Yeah.
So things like that. It was a fun little competitive game. She wasn't very excited to play it. And she was like, Daddy, I'm losing every single game. And I'm like, yeah, you just need to run and jump, though. Just get better, right? You just need to figure out how to play this game. And then we played Night Squad, which is always a classic multiplayer one. Jordan was surprised to find out that you could pair 8 Xbox controllers to one Xbox.
Yeah. Well, it's because you see only the 4 quadrants, right? At least back on the 360 days, it was the 4 quadrants. And then I guess those quadrant things don't happen on the Xbox One, but yeah, you can pair up to 8. It just
you can pair up to 8, and I've played Night Squad with 8 players, and it's a blast. And even with 3 players, it's a lot of fun with the bots. We played that one. We played Batman. There's one more that we just started playing.
You had a total of 8 Xbox One controllers in one house?
Well, I had 4, and then when I brought my Xbox and those 4 controllers over to someone else's house, and they had 4 themselves. So that's 8. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I have 4. I have 5 total just because I've got an Elite now of my own. But what I'm saying is anyone else usually doesn't have that many controllers. They have
like 2. 1 or 2, yeah. And I've got 4 because I have a bunch of 4-player games, right? It's the only way to play like Love in the era. What is that game called? The Galaxy game? You played that one, the spaceship game where 4 players have to crew the ship running around. Love in the something, I don't know, Love in the era of Galaxy Wars, I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I like this is one thing you and I have in common when it comes to video games. We both like couch games. So
yeah, we play co-op quite often.
Co-op couch games, and that's
co-op for us this weekend. The kiddos and me played multiple games. We played Speedrunners.
That's what the superhero types.
They're just running, and like every match, like you try to get in front of them, and the level gets closer and closer as you.
And they got like ridiculous costumes, right? Like shark.
Like the Falcon is actually like a big chicken, and the shark Gill is the shark. Yeah, we were playing that, and I guess I haven't played a game where dexterity comes into play that often with my oldest, with Connell, but he's good. Like,
he's good.
That game's all about timing. Jump, grab, swing, slide, run. And
you can like grab players with them and pull them behind, right? So if you do that at the right time, you can like pull them off the map and things like that.
Right. Now, usually, Daddy dominates, and all of a sudden, I had this like 9-year-old kid running up behind me. I'm like, oh crap. Oh crap! I mean, he did beat me a couple rounds.
Nice.
He got a total of 3 wins multiple times, and I was like, "What just happened?" I felt a little old there, but I felt proud at the same time.
I felt so bad. I played that game with R, and I didn't realize that she hadn't turned on her controller. So it was just me versus 3 AIs like running through the map, and I'm like, "Holy cow, kiddo, you're doing amazing!" She's like, "I know," and she's like looking at me, and I look at the screen and it's still moving. I'm like, "Wait a minute." It was like 40 minutes of me thinking I was playing against her, but I was actually playing against the AI.
That's fair because she still got the same level of enjoyment that she would have gotten otherwise.
She did. She thought she was kicking. She's like, "Haha, I got you," and I'm like, "You did? Wow, that was like well timed. What the?"
You're like, what?
Why can't you play the other games I put in front of you? But then we figured it out, and then once she joined the game, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is what I'm used to." Like, you know, you gotta run.
Oh no, I suck again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what I figured out with Jordan here is I figured out that I need to get her a Switch. Like, I need to get her a system with basic platformer games like Super Mario Brothers, because the Xbox One doesn't have basic.
I know that's
like even like I downloaded Ori and the Blind Forest. That's not that game presupposes. Yeah, but it presupposes. Yeah, but it assumes that you know how to play games already. Like the games that appear on Xbox One don't have any. I don't know how kids get into games now unless they just sort of dive in at 9 and 10.
Yeah.
And figure it out, right?
Well, they all play Fortnite and do Fortnite dances.
They don't still play Fortnite. That's crazy. Do they still play it?
Yeah, they're still playing that game. that giant game.
It's bonkers.
What else did we play? We played. I picked up. I decided to buy it because I was like, I couldn't believe that A, it wasn't on the Xbox Pass, and B, Castle Crashers, the remaster.
It's good.
I bought it. It was like $14, and I was like, paid it, boom, because it was a quick 4-player game, a 4-player brawler game that, you know, I paired up 3 of my controllers and handed one off to each kid and was like, let's go.
Let's go. And, that's good.
It's like 2 buttons. It's like the combos are like new combo, A. You know, it goes like at the bottom. It's like unlock new combo, A. And they're like, what? I'm like, yes, that's a combo. You just hit an A 3 times.
The right timing there, yeah.
So they were running through Castle Crashers and having a blast with, you know, the silly, zany, behemoth animation style that Castle Crashers has. They were
sure, solid.
So we got to run through that. So yeah, they're enjoying that a lot. They're asking for the Xbox more now, which is nice. But at the same time, I've now like gone, okay, now when you guys have a good week at school, you can have Xbox.
Bringing it out, yeah. That's what I'm probably gonna do with the kiddo once we get the Switch. I'm hoping to get her to stop watching TV so much and move to video gaming at least. I don't know why I think it's better. She got a bunch of Pokemon cards from a family friend, and now she just has this like huge wad of cards that she's like super proud of, right? Like she's like, this is my card. This is this. And it weirds me out because I'm like, this is a game, but I don't know how to play this game. So now I feel like I need to buy a starter deck.
You know, I don't know how to play Pokemon either.
I don't know how to play Pokemon, and I don't know that any of the kids know how to play Pokemon.
Okay, no, I'm lying. I knew how to play Pokemon, but then again, I learned it from other kids that probably didn't know how to play Pokemon properly either.
Yeah. I feel like all the kids do is scam each other out of their cards. But, I don't know. But I have to figure it out. I'll figure it out, and then we'll play. And she'll probably get mad that there's rules, and she's not going to want to play it like the way they tell you to play it. And she's going to be like,
"I'm sure her deck isn't a complete deck. There's specific ones that are."
Oh, it's a disaster right now. I'm like, you can't have this many legendaries in your deck, kiddo. It's just you can't summon them. You don't have enough energy. She's like, I summoned it. I'm like, oh, right, okay, that's the way the game works now. She's like, what do you mean? It's there in front of me. I'm like, oh, okay, yes.
It's like anytime you watch a Yu-Gi-Oh! The cartoon versus the actual rules to the game, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like pulling out all these cards, and you're like, you can't do that in the game. Actually, you don't even start with that many life points. It's like, what's going on here? So yeah,
everybody is cheating. That's rough. So, what else did we do? That's pretty much it, man. We just played some games and enjoyed ourselves. I was sad. I talked to a college friend of mine over the Labor Day weekend. He was complaining. I guess he was talking about how he could not get his kid into D&D. Like, we were talking about it because he's got all these D&D books, and he was like, "Do you DM?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I'm a really good DM. Like, one day I should have you over and I should DM a game for you. And he's like, yeah, I used to DM for my groups as well, and I tried it for my kid. He just wasn't into it. He's like, what are we doing, Daddy? What are we doing?
It's because it's like, Daddy.
You think it's because his dad running it?
I mean, some families can pull it off, like Mike and Jerry both DM from Penny Arcade, DM for their kids, but they've just kind of grown up with the entire gaming culture just imbued in their blood. If your kid plays some games and you're a DM, and then all of a sudden you want to introduce them into like tabletop, and they haven't been given tabletop pieces. Like maybe it might work for you and R, because she sees you do that kind of stuff, and you're a storyteller, you read to them. But if they don't, you know what I mean? Like there's a level of like,
maybe that's what I should have said. I've been like, dude, you never play games anyway. Like it's not something you do. So why would your kid be interested in it right now?
Right. You can't just all of a sudden go, well,
let's sit down and play D&D.
Play a game. It doesn't work that way. They have to be playing.
Although I feel like that's what my mom did, but I guess that's when it first started, right?
But you also probably didn't have an iPad or, on-demand TV and you know what I mean? Like I'm saying is, it's like...
No, I did not have an iPad 30 plus years ago.
No, but my point is that there wasn't any that level in your...
It's true. Cartoons ended at, 4 o'clock, and I was all like, I'm bored.
You're bored.
I'm bored.
Or on Saturday mornings by 11 a.m., that was it. There was no more Saturday morning cartoons.
Dude, what the... I've tried to enforce that in my house, but she's not buying it.
Because you can go to the next... That's what I'm saying. In-your-face entertainment all the time, which, we love nowadays because it was created by people like us, for us.
Who were denied it all the time.
Clearly,
yeah, it's all about being denied our pleasures.
And so now we have overload of pleasures, and now our kids are overloaded all the time.
That's sad. I wonder if that's true of all kids. But no, because maybe D&D is doing really well now because he's just selling to folks like us.
Well, I had a whole conversation about this at lunch with some of my coworkers today. They were talking about D&D, and they were talking about the fact that, Stranger Things, and I was bringing up the fact, I'm like, hey, we can't resent things like Stranger Things bringing D&D to the masses, because that's exactly it. It's now more players are out there. You've got kids in 12 and 13. It's a whole renaissance again. I mean, we've talked about it again on this show before, how D&D's have this resurgence. It's cool again. DMs are like celebrities. It's weird. It's a weird time.
Beer and clothing lines directly sold to me. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Right. Yeah. Oh God. I sent you the link, right? Acquisitions Inc. has a homebrew beer coming out of like a small batch.
I saw something else with Acquisitions. Do they have I want to say like a Monopoly game coming out? Like I don't know. It's like a branded board game, and I'm like, what the? Yeah. How is this a thing? Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah. There's no hate in our.
Sell the F out as fast as you can, everybody.
Yeah.
What else? What else is going on? We got Borderlands 3. Well, PAX West. I don't know if folks follow PAX West at all, but I was definitely feeling the missing out, feeling like I wasn't invited to the best party in the world. And
we're gonna go one day, man. We're gonna go. We gotta go for
we're gonna do our pilgrimage out there to PAX West. But I definitely sent an email to the squad for PAX East that was like, "Hey, get ready. It's happening this weekend, but ours is coming up soon for ticket sales." But Borderlands 3 dropped a lot of great news at PAX West, and it just looked like a total blast. Some of the cosplay outfits for Borderlands 3 has got me feeling like, how have they done this so quickly? That is amazing.
Yeah, I saw some of those cosplays. One individual that we follow on the Mid-Geek Crisis Instagram page. He's got the oh God, I can't remember the names. The white-haired guy, and he's just like, he looks straight out of the. I mean, he's just ripped out of the.
He does the Witcher one, right?
He does the Witcher one. He was hired by Warner Brother Games and another realm to portray Scorpion in some of the live action commercials. So he's
the Mortal Kombat Scorpion.
Yeah. So they hired him for that. What else got announced? There was some good announcements that happened at PAX West for sure. They announced Homeworld 3.
Jeez, wow! I didn't even know that. Wow, that series is still alive and kicking, huh?
Yeah, well, it wasn't, right? But it's owned by Gearbox, and Gearbox came out with, they pulled up PAX
So
East. We're like,
is Gearbox like, hey, we're gonna go head to head with Epic? Is Gearbox
well,
just
Gearbox is Epic. Like they're Epic puts out. I don't know, man. Like Epic is.
is it distributors like Take-Two for
kind of. Yeah.
Rockstar?
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy how much they're pumping out and sort of dominating the news scene right now. I don't know if you saw the Rain game, right? What is it called? Risk of
Rain 2.
Risk of Rain 2. Surprise
They had announced it. They had announced it for the Switch. Hadn't announced it for any other console. So everyone was like, "Oh, it's coming out for the Switch. What a great console to have it on, handheld, whatever." And all of a sudden, they just dropped it today, out of nowhere,
available to buy
on all 3 consoles: PS4, Switch, and Xbox One.
So they also Apex Legends was the same sort of thing. And is it just going to be the style now with surprise drops?
So. I hope so. The wife and me have the same feeling towards this. I think Tool did this last week or so, where
they dropped an album too.
Dropped their album after like 14 years in production order, but they dropped the entire album.
Yeah.
As opposed to the new style of artists that puts out a single, puts out another single 2 weeks later.
Yep.
A third single like a month later. And then like finally the album comes out. But by the time the album comes out, you've already heard like the 4 best tracks on it. And then the album's like, it's okay. It's good. It's not the best. So you don't get that giant hype up front. Missy Elliott did it though this past week.
Yeah, no, I saw that news and I was like, wow, people, what is this dropping albums?
First album in like 12 years or something, boom, dropped it at midnight, like out of nowhere. And it's pretty good. But like she got that big hype up front about the fact that she hadn't done something in so long. And here we go. Here's a release.
Also, the album format is dead, right?
That's what they're saying. But then like Tool came out, and I'm not a huge Tool fan. I've enjoyed some of their stuff, but I respect them as artists.
Right,
Yeah, they everyone's like, oh my God, the album format can still work. Like here it is. Here's the full album, and it's like conceptually awesome.
Yeah, but it's Tool. It's not like Joe and Pedro's band is dropping an album. No one gives a shit about that. It's Tool.
I'm a fan of the album, but I'm not.
Oh Jesus, Joe! Is there anything you're not a fan of?
I'm a fan of the album. I think whenever someone puts out an album, I want to listen to the whole thing because I want to feel the mindset that they were in when they wrote those songs and like that. Because I'm always like, I like concept bands. I'm a big fan of like Daft Punk and Gorillaz and that kind of thing, where they're like, that album that they release at that moment in time is very different from the previous album because I want to hear that like mindset that they're in for that album. And that seems to be like the case with a lot of the artists that I enjoy. It's like everyone has their phase. Like, back in the 90s, you have these albums, and then all of a sudden, like, they go through their reggae phase or their like weird ska-ish phase. You know what I mean? I'm not
sure.
So like albums give you a full view of that like aspect of music that they were working on at that time frame before they move on to the next big thing in 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Single doesn't give me any frame of like where they're at. It's just like, here's the music that hits now, and then like it's gone, and so it doesn't become timeless. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and that's I disagree about the timeless quality of singles. I mean, prove you wrong a million times over.
No, you're right. But I'm just saying, like,
I do understand that
the longevity of artists as a whole, as opposed to one-hit wonders.
There are some songs that I listen to that I anticipate the next song in the album and think to myself, wait, oh, right, I'm listening to the radio, right? Like, definitely sometimes that happens. I do like...
that like beat that comes into like the next track that bleeds because they used to do the back-to-back.
And you expect it to happen and it doesn't come and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on there? But I don't see. I feel like my music consumption is completely adjusted now, right? I am 100% Spotify. I have a couple lists.
Yeah,
my list runs out. Music comes on. I don't really even. I mean, when I hear someone has dropped a new album, I check to see if it's on Spotify. I listen to it. I don't even care that it's on shuffle. Like I don't need it in its particular order nowadays. A lot of times it's because music is background for me. It's not like I'm sitting there, headphones on, tears coming down my eyes, listening to Portishead, right, or any of the others.
That's a band that was fantastic. And then their most recent album, I think 2, 3, 4 years ago, they released one, and it was awful.
It was different.
Different. Is that what we're using? Okay, that's
different.
I hated their recent album. I was like, what is this? This is okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go home again. I think,
yeah, no, I know.
I mean, I didn't listen to Missy Elliott. By all accounts, it sounds like it was pretty fun. And then Tool, again, not a bit. Like, Tool is one of those bands that I feel like I listened to a single and was like, this is a pretty interesting song. And then I listened to their album and was like, this isn't for me. Gonna pop this disc out and return it to Virgin Records. Right? It's just sometimes you listen to a great song and you're like, oh, I'm gonna listen to the rest of the album, and then you're like, oh, not gonna happen. And then you wind up putting that song in your tracks. Trent Reznor is like that for me, and Nine Inch Nails and that kind of music, where like occasionally a single will grab me and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I go and listen to the album, like, oh, this is screechy noise that I'm not really appreciating as much as everyone else.
And I'm kind of the opposite on that. I've heard there's a lot of songs. A good example again, Gorillaz. I even use them quite often because they're one of those bands that are like top 40. They have multiple tracks from their albums that hit top 40. But a lot of my favorites are ones that are not. And I don't want to sound like completely hipstery,
you
but
push it up and show your tats,
put my tats and all that. But no, what I'm saying is their B-sides are some of my favorites. They do have a lot of songs that aren't played.
I said B-sides.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they actually even have albums called the B-sides.
Of course they do. Of course you do, because they're from a completely different era.
Yeah, well,
right there.
David Albarn is freaking weirdo, and he's Blur. So
yeah, so anyway, yeah. So that's the music portion of our show.
We don't usually talk about music very often. I mean,
no, dude. I mean,
well, let's turn this around a little bit before we leave this topic. Your kiddo, what music do you make her? I mean, do you turn it on? Does she listen to it? Is she jamming out to something that you might like?
Wow, I feel like I'm gonna get letters. No. Our household is essentially musicless. Nobody listens to music in our house. No, I mean that's not true. We'll put on what did she ask for? The last song she asked for was Seven Nation Army by what are they called? The Black Stripes, the White Stripes, the White Stripes. That's it. Jack Black.
Yeah.
White Stripes. So she'll listen to that.
White Stripes, that's right.
Yeah, Jack Black, White Stripes. Yes. So she'll listen. She digs that song. She digs. I don't know. She tends to listen to whatever I put on, and then if she starts to dislike it, she turns it off. No matter what random station you use, though, on especially the Alexa, it winds up playing a Beatles song, and I don't like the Beatles, so I always turn the Beatles off, and that's the one she likes to listen to the most because she knows I'm like, stupid Yellow Submarine, I hate this song so much. So controversial hot take, can we stop playing the Beatles and play something else, right? That's really my take on it.
I might agree with you on this. I am a fan of the Beatles music. I'm not the fan of the Beatles singing their own music.
Oh, dude,
I'm a huge fan of Beatle covers. I think other people have done their music better than they have, but that's controversial hot take.
It's a hot take. Hot take. I'm not interested in hearing anything made before 1989 at this point. I'm just like, hey, only new music because that's the only way I'm going to learn and grow. But you keep playing stuff from the 60s, 70s, 80s. None of us are ever going to grow, and we're all going to think that was the best time ever. It's not. It was never. So let's move on. Anyway.
Cautious at themidgeekcrisis.com.
Can we all agree as a culture that Brown-Eyed Girl never needs to be played again? Can we all agree on that one?
Sweet Caroline?
Oh, dude. Sweet Caroline. I like to shout that one sometimes. Uptown Girl. Can we get rid of that one?
Oh, anything from that doo-wop Billy Joel. Can we just cancel Billy Joel?
Cancel Billy
Billy Joel, I hate Billy Joel.
But not Piano Man.
No, Piano Man, the worst. That was the first one out the freaking door. As a matter of fact, because I'm a wonderful troll, I know everyone's least favorite song, and my mother-in-law's is Roxanne. It hates it, and I always would. She'd walk into the room, and I'd be like, play Roxanne. Roxanne, like, oh hey mom, what's going on? She's like, well, why is this on? My father-in-law hates Billy Joel, Piano Man. He absolutely loathes it, and the wife hates anything by CCR,
which I adore. I mean, yeah, I don't. I don't disagree with that assessment, and I completely respect
it. So that's music that constantly gets played. So I'm going to make sure that when my mother-in-law passes away and my father-in-law passes away, that song gets played at their wake.
Oh my gosh, what?
Oh, dude, it's got to.
Let's not talk about that.
It's got to. I told them in their face, I'm like, you guys are getting this played.
You know why you can't stop me?
You can't stop me. That's right. If you can do it, please.
Songs to Make Enemies by Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
We won't share my most hated music, but I feel like Joe can play random mixes, and he'll probably find at least 10 songs that I will hate.
Oh, I'm sure.
I hate this song. Always full of hate. What else we got?
So we talked a little bit of this pre-show, and I wanted to touch base on it on the show here. The Joker movie is not out. It's not out till October. Oh dear God, I'm gonna get the right
4th, October 4th.
October 4th. So a month away, but yet major media guys were allowed. They did big screenings for it end of August. Over a month early to get the hype going. Like, this review was posted August 31st. IGN, and IGN, controversial because IGN never gives anything a 10 out of 10. They're always like 7 out of 10. That's their like joke. Too much water.
5 out of 7 is what I give this film.
It's just arbitrary, like 7 is around number 5. So is that good? I don't understand.
No one knows.
No one knows. No, but IGN gave this movie a 10 out of 10, and I've gone through and read a lot of these reviews just because I'm puzzled by the early access of this movie. It's out. It's ready to go. Why wait? What's going on? Like, it's
interesting, right? Well,
it makes me feel funny. Like, they weren't sure of their own movie, but then they released it, and
but they were sure, because if they weren't, they would wait to the very last minute to give it to reviewers, right? Isn't that what they usually do?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like World of Warcraft, they waited till the day before, right?
Well, maybe it was one of those things where they did screenings, and then maybe they have a couple endings or things ready to go, and if things got bad, they can switch it up to the final.
That would be interesting.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe because they can always do the whole thing. Oh, well, this isn't ready for public, but here's a screening of the movie, and then we're not going to put a non-disclosure. You can go ahead and review it, and then they can take
I honestly don't know. Maybe they just try something new, because a lot of these movies don't do very well from a DC perspective, right?
Maybe.
But this they do well. What am I talking about? They do, because I think it's because it looks so different from all the other. Maybe they're trying to get these reviews up because they want like people who don't care about comics going as well, right? So like, there's the Marvel fans and the comic book fans. They're going to go no matter what, right? Everyone's going to go to this if they're a comic book fan to see the Joker. But
a comic book fan, sure.
A comic book fan, right? Maybe they're trying to get folks like, my partner, my wife, or people who don't care about comics at all, interested and intrigued by, oh, this is a this is a gripping story about an angry white guy who's been wronged. I can't wait to go see that, right? So maybe that's
been my biggest plight against this movie altogether. If anything, I know the Joker is the Joker, right?
Joker.
The Joker doesn't need a backstory.
He's better without it, to be honest.
He always has been. That's been one of his biggest things. He's a puzzling thing. In the comics, Batman has no clue who he is. Like, honestly, he's always been like, who is he? He always gets a little clue here. A storyline might kind of
the world's greatest detective is always
right. He's puzzled about this guy that showed up out of nowhere and has ruined his life. And he is like he's his anti. Like, Batman, Joker. He's the other side of the coin. And now we've got this movie that isn't part of any continuity. It isn't part of whatever movies. This is a one-shot. There won't be a sequel. There won't be a Batman brought into any.
Well, there won't be a sequel today.
Today, right. But that's what they've said, that this is like a one-shot movie. And it's an interesting movie. It's essentially a Scorsese-esque mobster /
or like an Alan Moore take, right? Like, think of it as like a heady comic book writer is taking over for 4 issues, right, to reboot the Joker maybe, or to present a different vision of the Joker, like what Batman First Year. It was just like a one and done kind of run,
but it wasn't.
But it was.
But it wasn't. The problem is, you're right. It was a one shot, but that version of Frank Miller's Year One Batman became the Batman from then on. Everything because of that. And
because everyone loved it so much. Perhaps this Joker could do the same thing, right? So just.
But do we not already love the Joker? I mean, is the Joker not already kind of a character that we love? Did we take it back and
why do we love the Joker? I guess, like, if you had to, why of all of the villains, and Batman has the most ridiculous cast of characters, right?
Right.
Why of all the villains, and honestly, why of all the villains in the DC universe, no disrespect, the Joker's the only one that stands out among, like, at the top of the villain universe, and he's not even that powerful. Like, he doesn't.
Well, he's not. That's the thing, right? He's the power of the writer, right? Like,
well, yeah, of course,
right.
But so why does he stand out? Why do you think he stands out?
Well, because he is the other side of the Batman, and the Batman is kind of godlike in the DC universe. He's the one human that stands up against the pantheon of gods that is Superman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Flash, etc. But yet he could keep up, if not outdo them in almost every way. And then you've got a character that's the Joker, that is a villain, that is kind of like, he doesn't plan much. He doesn't. He's just wacky. He's zany. The god that is Batman can't catch him, and he won't kill him because Batman doesn't kill. And then at the same time, he kind of sticks it to Batman constantly. He does. So it's like, it's a love-hate for a character that's so godlike that he's
Batman's
underdog, but he's also the underdog villain among all these other villains that are like giant brains and money and whatever. And here's the Joker, it's the dude with clown makeup and a gun and just like causes chaos. So like, it's, again, that's how I see the Joker. I mean, that is the Joker. He is just a character that is allowed to do whatever he wants as long as it's to rib or mess with Batman. And they've done horrible things. He's a character that has killed. He's a character that has maimed. He killed a Robin. He paralyzed
he's taken out a bunch of Robins, right? I feel like.
Well, he's killed one major one, which he didn't. He came back as the Red Hood, etc. But I mean, what I'm saying is, he killed a Robin. I mean, literally, but Batman still won't kill the Joker, or won't accidentally kill him, or allow anyone to kill him. It's because it's almost like a bromance in a way. It's a. You
could tell that Joe's not really a Batman fan by his tone and the bile that's coming out. So I mean, I like the Joker because he's hilarious, right? I just think his jokes are funny. I think
he's kind of like the Deadpool of villains.
Yeah, when he's written well, he's like the Deadpool of villains. When he's written poorly, he's just another psychopath who enjoys hurting and torturing and killing, things like that.
Yeah, and I think the smartest stories of the Joker have been the ones that he's like, I won't even do that. Like, the whole, like, you know what? I'm crazy, I'm insane, but I have reason, or I have motive,
Which is why Heath Ledger's Joker was so great. Like he wasn't like a lot of people are like, oh, the Joker. I mean, just not. I hate using alignment charts, but the Joker's all chaotic good. And I'm like, is he? He's
No.
not crazy. He's calculated.
Calculated crazy.
He's violent and murderous, but he's not crazy. He's never been crazy. And he acts it because it disarms his opponents. It makes them think that they can take advantage of him.
But he's not. He's brilliant.
He's brilliant, and that's how he gets away with this all. Even Jack Nicholson's Joker, which is probably one of the least interesting Jokers, wasn't crazy. He knew what he was doing.
No, he was calculated.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be if he's got a laughing box in his pocket for when he does die, right? Like, exactly, he has to be. A crazy person might have it there for laughs, but he has to be ready to be prepared for that. So, and Heath Ledger's Batman is the how you say that's the
Joker.
mold, right? That's the one that every Joker now in cinematic movies, at least for another 10, 15,
is reaching for.
Has to reach for, right? You can't.
And we had like Jared Leto's, which
tried too hard.
Yeah, he was just planned wrong. I think he could have been a great Joker without.
I don't even remember why he was in that movie.
It's a Suicide Squad. It's a group of villains, and you had Harley Quinn, so you had to have the Joker in it in some way.
But he was barely in the film. Like he wasn't.
Well, he was supposed to be. Here's an introduction to him. We're going to make a Batman movie with him eventually.
All right.
So who knows what's happening? I don't know.
I see.
Anywho, he was
because there is a Suicide Squad 2 being made, right? There is a part 2.
Apparently, I don't know anymore. DC hasn't been very hush about what they're doing. They're completely shook by the Disney machine at the moment, and we don't know what's kind of. We've got Wonder Woman 84 coming out, and we don't have an Aquaman 2 announcement, and we don't. They lost the director for Flash.
Thank God, Aquaman 2. Oh, there was a movie for Flash? That would have been good.
Well, they're supposed to be, but it dropped the director again, and so we're kind of in limbo with that, and I think they just attached someone else. I don't know who it was, but I don't know, man. It's a mess. Yes,
have you played Batman 3, the Lego game?
I have bits and pieces of it. I know that it's difficult, and I know that
it's hard. But it's got the Justice League in it, right? So like Flash is in it.
Yeah.
He is the most fun to play in this game because he actually runs fast and he punches fast. And you know how like when you move slow with the Lego characters, they tiptoe?
Right.
He can't do it because he's moving so fast. So he winds up like moving like so like watch animations of the Flash, and he's so much fun to play because he just, especially in a 2-player game where the split screen keeps happening because you can zip right across the split screen. Like you look over and he's like in the background and zipping back and forth. It's one of the best representations of playing Flash in a Lego game that I've ever in a game in general, but in a Lego game. And those Lego games are great. I can't overspeak them anyway. But anyway, that was a divergence because I was just thinking about.
No, it's right. The DC universe in general has got great characters.
Yeah, because I'd actually like to see a Flash movie.
So
I like the sequences.
This Joker movie is coming out, and it's not based on anything other than just the.
It looks like a reskinned Oscar movie. It looks like a reskinned. So, what was the name of that Michael Douglas film from 10,000 Years? Free Falling, where like he snaps and he shoots up in traffic or something. He loses traffic and he shoots up a fast food joint. Maybe
he's got the white work shirt on. What's his
name? The buzz cut. Everyone knows. I think it's Free Fall or Free Falling or.
What is it? Michael Douglas.
It just looks like another one of that genre. And like, do we need more movies like that? Is my thought. Falling Down. Thank you.
Off camera. There we go.
The knowledge off camera is
Falling Down. That's right. 93. Falling Down. Good job. Good stuff. That's why we need a producer.
This is why we need a producer. We need someone. We need the knowledge out there to tell us what's up. So Falling Down. I saw the trailer and I was like, how is this not just a reskinned Falling Down? Reskinned with the Joker, which is weird, right? Like, there we go. It's probably going to be brilliant though, Joe. Just for the record, like we're all going to be upset that it's a Joker film because it's going to be
Yeah. Also, it's another thing. Like, it's another movie inspired it. It's The King of Comedy, the Martin Scorsese 1984 film. It just feels like it's exactly the same.
Taxi Driver, that whole genre of films, right? All
Yeah,
of those films.
it just feels like the same movie. But again, it's a big. It's like you could literally put Robert De Niro in this role, and
A young Robert.
a younger Robert De Niro, or a young. It's so.
You can't nowadays because he's an anti-vaxxer guy, and we don't want to give those people movies.
Robert De Niro's an anti-vaxxer?
Well, he thinks that we should look at both sides, I think, thinking in his head that both sides are equal, which I'm like, dude, they're not.
They're not.
So, for the record, vaccinate your children.
Yes,
Public service announcement, vaccinate your children. What was I going to say? But yeah, it looks like one of those like heavy, emotional, smell the fart kind of white guy movies, right?
Yeah, it's a Goodfellas, Sopranos, kind of, The Godfather, what's the other one? The Departed, just very, very gritty, very dark.
But also it feels like maybe they're trying to explain to me why white people voted for Trump. Like, I don't want to, like, hot take, what they're being like, oh, look at this guy who's been beaten down and he's so upset and he's so talented in this comedy. He should succeed because good things happen to people who try. But for this guy, it isn't. And that's why he's so mad. And that's why he becomes the Joker, which is the same
I don't want to feel sorry for the Joker. I don't.
So yeah, not only do I don't want to feel sorry for the Joker, there's a part of me that feels like I don't even want to understand why he's the Joker.
Right.
He's a fictional character that I want to enjoy. So when you bring him into our world,
right,
you
give him a name.
You give him a name, and it's awkward because now, I mean, which might be the intent, right? Might be this might be like a send-up of comic book films in general that we're not self-examining enough.
Maybe.
But here's the villain, right? Here's the villain that we got that we might have to examine.
Here's a magnificent script for a movie. It'll do so much better if we just slap Joker on it.
Do you think it would do so? I guess it would. They're like $1 billion.
Oh my God! Could you imagine a movie just based off of a comic that's trying to bring laughter into the world, but at the same time just doesn't work, and he just becomes like a villain? Yeah, but then they're like.
But I feel like that's what happened to like 80% of Reddit, right? Like I feel like that's what happened to 4chan. They just wanted to bring laughter to the world, but no one understood them, and that's why they're monsters. And they made 8chan. Like I just don't. But you get what I'm saying? Like all of these guys are jokers.
Well, everyone has good intentions. You give the world what you can, and then you let them run with it. And then you're like, "What are you doing? You're stabbing people with that. Why are you doing that?" Like, you know what I mean? I don't understand.
Are you talking about the movie studios?
Everything, just anything in general. Like,
look around, Pedro.
Honestly, like we can apply it to anything. Facebook, Zuckerberg made this social media thing. He was like, it's a way for connect. In schools, colleges, talking. Oh, now it's a way to connect with families, friends. All of a sudden, now it's like the biggest privacy hole on the planet. Like,
also, the Russians were like,
right, let's manipulate a whole government based with it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he gave the tool to the world, and everyone just like stabs everybody with it. So it's the same thing. No matter what, we're running into the same problem over and over.
So what we're being told is we need to understand it, right? That's what this movie's message is. Is like, hey, listen, people have been told that they're special and now they're murderous, and I'm like, oh well, some of us aren't. And you know what's weird? A lot of us are not killing people. Like we're doing all right. I don't understand. A lot of us are struggling and we're doing all right. So what's the common denominator here? Not to be me. Not to sound like a crazy person.
Yeah.
But so I saw the trailer. I don't know that I want to. I don't know that I want to go watch a movie where for an hour and a half they make me sympathize with the Joker. That's going to be hard to get through.
This feels like Gotham, the movie, like the show, where like they can't use Batman, but we're going to give you everything that is Batman without Batman. So I'm just waiting for Batman. That's all I want to see is Batman. But yet somehow you're not going to give me Batman.
It's gonna be like, what if like you watch this movie and it's like in one of its comedian routines he's heckled by a Cobblepot, and you're gonna be like, oh,
apparently there's Waynes. There are Waynes in the movie.
Well, it has to be.
It's the world of Gotham. Of course, there's got to be a Wayne in there. So there's like Waynes. There's like Thomas Wayne is in the movie or whatever, and so you've got these.
That's Thomas Wayne's the dad.
Dad, yeah. Like I don't think it's Bruce.
What's the timeline here?
I don't know, man. Like I'm so
Joker.
I'm so confused. I don't know what they're doing. That's what I'm saying. This movie is so shoehorned, but yet everyone's just like stroking off to it because it's like going to be the greatest Joker ever. I'm like, what are you doing? I
just hope there's a scene where Aquaman heckles him from the back.
Oh God! Then I'd watch it. Oscar worthy, right there.
A little tear goes down and he becomes the Joker.
Yeah. I'd watch that.
This with Jason Momoa, is that is he's just in the back like, you suck!
You suck!
Dude! You're the worst!
Big old freaking meat paw in the air. You suck!
Go fish with better jokes. Get down!
I don't know, man.
I'd watch that.
Confused about this movie. October 4th. Maybe I'll go see it. It's considered. They called it a masterpiece.
Let's take a quick poll. You could just put that there in the comments. Is Joe going to see it? Yes.
Nah.
Yes. You're not going to go see it just to spite us?
No, really, I'm not. It's not even on my radar. It hasn't been on my radar.
There's nothing even out, right? What else is out there that's come out?
I mean, it's October, right? So we're gonna get a bunch of movies coming out.
We get the Star Wars. Is Star Wars this winter?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that clip from Disney from the D23. Did you see that?
No, dude, I don't watch that. I don't watch those trailers. I go into all Star Wars movies cold. I'm actually
fair.
It's not. Yeah, I'm actually
That's
pretty
fair.
good at avoiding the spoilers.
Okay, that's fair. The clip, it wasn't a trailer. It was like they showed a bunch of like pieces from the previous movies and like the culmination, and they showed a little bit of battle of whatever's going to happen at the end of.
I saw a lot of nerd ripping and rending regarding the shape of Ren's lightsaber. I think she's got a special lightsaber.
Yeah, did you see?
She's got a nerd raging lightsaber.
Raging lightsaber. I have no problem with it.
+5 versus chest hairs. Is that yeah. What I can't stand it. So it should be good. It should be good.
I'm excellent. I'll be there day one for that.
I'm excited for them to close out these 9 movies, and honestly, I'm super excited for like The Mandalorian. I'm excited for things in the Star Wars universe that is going to expand the world that I've grown up loving.
We want more Rogue One. Can we get more Rogue One?
Well, definitely more Rogue One style films. I mean, with Smugglers, like a heist film, or like On the Fringe. Like, let's find out what's going on the Fringe. I don't want an Office style discussion of Imperial officers. Like, I don't want the Imperial officers to be redeemed. I just want them shot and blown up. Like, I want my Star Wars universe to be clear cut. Like, I don't want.
Oh man, but that would be good though.
Who
came up with that?
I don't want to walk out of a theater with people going "Hail Hydra." Like, it really annoys me when people want to be the bad guys. Like,
well, I think Marvel did it pretty well, where they were all really terrible people, but they all said this like code phrase to make it seem like they were cool. But like, I think the callback on Endgame for that was really good.
That was an excellent callback. But at the same time, like, there are people who seriously say "Hail Hydra" and mean it. And I'm just like, well, are you cool? Are you so edgy it comes around again? Because like, those guys were Nazis. I want to be clear here.
They weren't the Nazi party. They were like the head of the Nazi party. They were like, you cut off one head and another one appears. That's the whole point of the Hydra thing. It's like, God, people, like, you can't say Hydra. You're a Nazi.
Those are the bad guys. So, when I see people stressed in stormtrooper outfits, I'm like, you're the bad guy, right?
Well, I mean, at least So with Stormtrooper outfits, at least it's the dedication to just want to be a character from the Star Wars.
I can dig it, and it's a great costume. It's a good uniform, very recognizable.
Like I definitely, and plus I really dig what the 501 does, like the whole like group.
They do an amazing charity. I think it's great. I've got some friends who do it, and they love doing it. But like it's the mentality.
In my head, I get it. Like
don't side with the Nazis.
Yeah,
the space Nazis, the space bag, or people who want to be like I guarantee you, if you had a Star Wars con and then you were like, we're going to play a Star Wars role-playing game, and you put 100 nerds in the room, like 70 of them would want to be a dark Jedi. And I'm just like, why? A, Jedis are rare, and B, like dark Jedi, really?
Like dark Jedi, not a. Or they all want to play like the dark good character that's like, oh, I'm just stressed. I could tip to the dark side at any moment.
Right. The Drizzt Deordans of the Jedi universe. Yeah, I'm a reformed night elf who's just so dark.
So dark, so gross.
My character's named Chaos Bloodhand.
Straight out of Todd McFarlane's like wet dream journal.
Is he still a thing? Is anyone going to get that? Todd McFarlane?
Todd McFarlane, come on, man. It's Spawn. Like, come on. You need a character literally called Spawn. Like, Spawn.
Is there a new Blade? Did I dream that too? Is there a new Blade coming out?
There's a new Blade coming out.
All right.
You didn't dream
a Spawn? The same universe? Different universe?
No. It's Image, man. It's a complete.
But didn't McFarlane draw a shit ton for Image? I thought he.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, Todd McFarlane is a founder of Image.
That's what I thought. I was like, wait.
He drew a ton on Marvel. Like he's one of the major creators to Venom. I mean.
But wasn't Spawn Image?
Yes, Spawn is Image. Spawn is not Marvel.
Oh, and Blade is Marvel.
Blade is Marvel.
Ah, gotcha.
But Todd McFarlane has drawn Blade. He's also drawn Mobius, the living vampire.
All I remember about Todd McFarlane is his run on Star Wars and the way Spider-Man's webs looked.
He would do like lots of detail wrapped around. You know, everyone had the curly hair and the. Todd McFarlane has a very distinct.
And for some reason, pouches. No, I'm kidding. I know.
Layfield.
I know.
I grew to hate Layfield, and then I grew to love him just because he's a really cool guy.
He owned it. He took it on.
He owned it. Yeah.
Oh, it was a famous comic book artist who created comics and characters and lived a career. Oh, make fun of me all you want. Like, get out of here.
He created Deadpool, guys. You can't hate. You can hate his art all you want, but the guy created characters that we all love now. Obviously, his version of Deadpool is not.
Even though we all hated the art, we still bought every one of the variant covers. We still bought every one of the posters.
Everyone had like the 5 issues.
Everyone had 7 Cable issues. Everyone wanted to be Cable. Like, come on. Let's not pretend that we didn't all love Liefeld.
He created Cable. I know. And Domino. Most of the X-Force.
That's right. That's all of the X-Force, in fact.
All of the X-Force, yeah. A couple of characters here and there popped in. Shatterstar. Oh, wait, no, that was a... Yeah, no, I can't even remember. Is it Shatterstar? Shatterstar is the one that... The one that gets killed in Deadpool 2. The green blood.
Get killed in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I know. But
that's like, Shatterstar.
Shatterstar, yeah. Okay, yeah. Because he takes that same character and he creates him in another comic book series for Image.
Youngbloods or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Again, same like face thing.
Which again, I bought and had because it was so hot. He was so hot.
Yeah, and the 17 variant covers. I mean, he was literally the rise and fall of the 90s comic book industry.
Yeah, he was right there at the boom, and then the splat was soon after, right? Because got tired of buying.
Because they overprinted, right? 50 billion copies of Youngblood sat on the shelves, and everyone was like, they overinflated the fact that every issue was going to be worth
collector something. Oh god, I think I had like 4 of them. It's the worst.
Holographic covers and whatnot, because
I didn't even buy into that stuff. I just wanted to collect them all. Like I wasn't buying into the value of it. I just had to.
Yeah, you were me.
Yeah, and I kicked the habit. I like to think, and I mean that's a lie. I'm upset that I didn't do the last 2 Dwarven Forge Kickstarters. So let's not pretend that
it keeps you up at night. You wake up in the
morning. It really does, because I get the emails from them that's like, our pledge manager is still open if you want to pre-order. I'm like, stop it! You're torturing me.
So wait. So you're telling me that the pledge manager allows you to like jump on the Kickstarter without being part of the Kickstarter?
Well, of course they want more orders, right? So they open it up for it's open for another week. The Hellscape, and I'm like, that Hellscape is.
You still get all the backer stuff.
You can still do. I didn't check. I didn't check, Joe, because I know.
You should check. Your people should know.
You're the worst. It's like 3 days from now, because I know they're going to send another message like, pledge manager closing in 48
hours. Yeah.
Daddy just got his paycheck. I wonder if I can, because I'm selling a bunch of stuff online, right? So to pay for my PAX East, and I'm like, well, maybe I can make that money up after and just spend this money on it. No, PAX East gets paid for first, and then we're good to go.
PAX East.
The fund has already got the tickets and the first day of the hotel room, so I'm in a good place right now already.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, PAX East.
Hey, is anybody going? Let us know. We'll be there. We'll be playing games, board games, checking out everything, hoping for some things to be awesome. It's probably too early, but they start selling the tickets in November, right?
October, right? Is it
end of October, November? I feel like they surprise me every year on the timing.
I know it's after West ends, and then they usually don't they PAX Ost? Isn't Australia coming up soon?
I thought it was tickets go on sale. Maybe the tickets for PAX Ost go on sale because it's in January. PAX Ost, right?
That's PAX South is January.
I have no idea.
It's Southeast West Australia or Australia West. I always get the confusion of which one comes in first.
It's in October, PAX Ost. So yeah, it's after PAX Australia.
Yeah.
It's in October this year. So you're right. It goes West, Australia, South, East. East is the last in the series.
Yeah, East is the last in the series before they reboot new pins or new styles or whatever. Well, actually, they changed it this year. They made South the first one this year because they changed the logos into that drippy logo.
That's right.
The 3 pins, and so this year
Australia is the last one that's going to have it.
The last one's So
I'm sorry, folks. I am tired. I don't know what happened to me.
It's all right.
Turning into a pumpkin soon.
Okay.
Are you doing South? Are you doing South this year?
Yeah. I've already got my hotel set up. I've got all the kiddos ready to go. I mean,
it's a longer trip for you now, right?
It is a longer trip for me, but it's not too bad.
Wait. You're bringing the kids this year?
I haven't decided yet. I don't know. I might take one, maybe.
The 9-year-old.
Yeah. I might take Connell. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. The problem is I love him to death, but I don't know if he can do a full 3 days. And
not the way you do 3 days.
No, not the way I do 3 days. He could do like a Saturday, right up front. And what's nice about PAX South is it's such a low key show for them. The tickets are still on sale. They're still available. All the 3-day pass Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are still available. No other show does that. Just because it's a big enough city, but at the same time, it's at a weird time of year. It's right after Christmas. Again, it's a small indie show. Really, it's just become a small indie show.
Do you think they're gonna phase it out?
I don't know.
Yeah,
they like San Antonio. They like the feel of it. It's kind of like a vacation show for them.
Oh, all right.
So I don't know, man. I
it's
hope
not just them, right? It's the whole PAX committee, right?
Right, and they seem to be enjoying it. They don't hate it. It does bring in money. They do sell the tickets. They do sell out of the tickets by the time the show starts. They might have like Saturday or Sunday tickets available still, but people tend to buy those tickets almost because they don't sell out. People will keep buying them up till day of.
Yeah, and once they start selling out sooner and sooner and sooner, then it's going to turn. That PAX East was the same way for its first couple of years. It just, and then they started selling out in the first 4 hours, right? Like I feel like it used to be that you had a couple of days and then a week or two and a month or two and things like that. But then
not now. It's like hours. Like
what are we at? We had 10 years yet? Is this year the 10th year for PAX East?
I don't know. 2011. No, 2010 was the first year, right?
So 2020, right? Wouldn't it be 10 years of PAX
Yeah,
East?
yeah. It'll be 10 years of PAX East. Oh,
10 years for me, 9 years for you, or 8
9
years
years for me. 9 years for me.
Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. All right, yeah. What are you playing? I'm playing Division 2. I beat Flame in the Flood. I don't know if we talked about that game last week, but I
Wait, did you beat it?
Yep, beat it. Started up again to beat it again, and I was like, man, pass. So I picked up Shadows of the Empire, which looks like fun. And I got to go back to Guacamelee. I'm a little upset that I have
Shadows of the Empire.
It's not Shadows of the Empire. Shadows of the Emperor. It's like a tactical samurai game. It's
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That looks fun.
It's fun. It's a nice little combination. The only thing is the controls get in the way. One thing, and I just hope developers just this game
to the ether.
This game has a quick save option, right? So it's a tactical game, and you press the back button or whatever it's called nowadays, the double square button, the back button.
Yeah.
And it saves the game. You just press it and it saves the game, and it's seamless. You just press it and it saves the game. On top of that, it's got a timer that tells you how long it's been since you last saved it. So now a game like this requires a lot of control memory because it's clearly a game that was designed for a keyboard and mouse put onto an Xbox controller. So like this button does this button activates this menu, then you have to do this and this and this to get the right order, which becomes real complicated in a stealth game with timing, right? So I have to remember that I have to press LB, then X, then L1 to aim, then X to throw to actually throw a ninja star at somebody. So you got to time all that properly, right? Because I need to pick from a menu. So this quick save option allows you to quick save, try it, and if you mess up the controls, it takes about 10 seconds to reload. I don't know what they did to make this so like easy to manage for a casual player like myself, but like every time I pick up the game, I have to relearn all these button combinations.
Right. And that's my problem with playing any of those type of games is I like the look of them. I like the feel, but if the controllers require me to read a technical manual, I'm not going to play it because I'm only going to play it for about 40 minutes before I put it down. And then if I come back the next day, I'm not going to spend another 40 minutes reading that manual.
Which is I play one mission and then I'm like, ooh, got that mission done. Best part is like, it's they have like badges you can get. I'm like, I like to go after the badges. And it was like, beat this mission in 11 minutes. My time was 49 minutes, right? So I was like, guess I'm not getting that badge. And then the next mission is like, beat this in 14 minutes. And I'm like, man, you really got to be like L1, this button, that button, this one to get it perfectly done. But
it's like a DDR game on your.
It just requires a lot of steps that I'm not used to in a game, right? L1's to throw a grenade. Like usually it's just much easier. But the quick save option eliminates the pain of making a mistake because of the controls. Like think about it. Like I've made way more mistakes with the controls than with my timing because I'm a video gamer. I know how to time a ninja star throw. It's just because I pressed this, and this, and I threw a rock instead. Right, like it's just one of those things. Like, I had the wrong character. So I got to say that I don't know what they did, and I don't know how they optimized it, but they optimized it for this thing. It seems like on the Xbox, and
it seems like it's almost like an emulator. Like emulators have like quick states and load states, and giving you that option. Some people would say that's cheating, but then like it also allows you to enjoy the game.
Yeah, and it's cheating, sure. But it allows you to enjoy the game on the Xbox. And, I mean, they have this, like, green, yellow, red. So if you wanted to push your luck and be like, you know what, I'm only going to quick save in the red, you've got a timer. And green tells you a minute. Yellow means you haven't done it for 2. Once you're past 3 minutes, it turns red to let you know, hey, you haven't saved in a while. Are you sure you want to play like this when you save? And I've tried it. Controls messed me up. And I'm like, now I got to recoup 3 minutes when my missions are already 48 minutes long, right? So, like, I don't have time like that.
Now, my question to you is there achievements for not doing a save?
No, there's not achievements for the quick save uses, but there is a lot of achievements for getting things done in like one quick thing, not making any mistakes. A lot of the achievements are ones that you would expect in a stealth game. Kill 3 people by making 1 barrel drop. Sneak past this group without getting spotted. So a lot of the achievements are the kind of achievements you want for a stealth game. Do you ever play Tenchu? Stealth Assassin 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like that, except it's a tactical game. It's all real time, except you've got 5 characters that you need to control in real time, so the controls matter. And then there are moments where you can do, they call it like shadow planning, where you could be like, this guy does this guy does this. It's a great game. Give it a try. Watch the videos. But the quick save option, I just want to say to all of developers of tactical games, have removed the frustration for me with making mistakes on the controls. Now all of the mistakes are my fault because I didn't time it right or I didn't plan it right. I can't blame the controls because I'm like, oh, I can undo and go back to quick save. So it's great. And you don't really need to reload the whole map. And like a lot of those games, usually saving is like this, like one button press, go to save, pick an option, save it here, right? This one just quick saves to slot 1 and you're good to go. Like it just gets rid of all the floof when it comes to saving, which all of us know how to do, right? And on a keyboard, you would just hit Control S, right? Like it's that simple, but they figured it out how to do it on a console. And I wish more of these tactical games could do. Like Solaris is on there, the big
Solaris,
4X.
yeah.
Solaris just came out on the Xbox Pass, and I haven't downloaded it yet because I know the controls are just going to be a beast. And if they didn't have the quick save, I won't bother, right? Like that's the thing that I'm like spoiled by this game and its quick save. You know, So anyway, everyone's gonna hear this or listen to this and be like, "Hey, cautious, just play it on the computer, you a-hole." Like they're totally gonna be like, "Just play it on the PC. Don't put it on the Xbox One." But I'm gonna be like, you know what? I love my Xbox One, and I get Chivos on it. Chivos that I can show off to my friends. So.
Steam has Chivos too.
Yeah, but they're like buried in like I'm going after the Civ 6 ones and they're just not as fun. It doesn't pop up.
They don't give you a gamer score. It doesn't show up right there.
I don't get the dopamine rush. Like, yeah, it isn't the same.
It's the same. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, share, post, comment, do all of the nice stuff that we like to rant and rave about.
Really, just comment. Let us know what's up.
Yep.
Tell us you hate the show. Tell us you love the show. Or just chit-chat about what games you're playing with your kids. That's what I'm most curious about. What are the folks who are 40 out there doing when it comes to this sort of stuff? What are they playing? What do they hang out with? What do they hope the game industry is going to give them soon?
Borderlands 3 is what I'm hoping for. Next week,
playing Borderlands 3. There you
next
go.
week we've got Monday. Next week, I'm hoping to get a stream up and running, guys, for a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful 20th anniversary of the Dreamcast.
What are you gonna play? Can you even Twitch stream the Dreamcast?
I can, brother. 99.99 20th anniversary.
And tomorrow we've got that Nintendo Direct. So
yeah, we've got a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. So 40-minute Nintendo Direct. Gonna announce some new stuff. So I'm excited for that too. So
they're canceling the Switch and they're gonna build a better console for everybody. Ridiculously stupid prediction.
Is that your prediction? All right.
Oh, that's a dumb prediction. New Zelda. That's what my prediction is. We haven't heard new Zelda news in a while.
I would love more news for Breath of the Wild too. Oh.
I know. All right, kid show.
All right, guys. Love you guys.
Thanks a lot.
Episode 42 in the can.
Thanks.